All right, welcome to day 8 of 100 days to profitability. Let me go ahead and fix this real fast. So, I am currently in two trades, one on the left side here on NASDAQ and one on the right side here on ES. So, I took one short earlier this morning and I barely got stopped out. I literally got like wigged out, which happens. I'll show you the one that I took earlier. So let me just move this actually. I took this trade right here. I literally got wicked out right there for a loss, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. That happens sometimes. So, anyways, that happened, and we re-entered on a little bit of a better re-entry because we had this nice little. I'll go ahead and show you right here. We had this nice little pullback. This little pullback right here, the one that stopped me out. But anyways, that was nice to see. And right now we are in shorts. Today is Friday, so it's the end of the week. And today for news, we had three. Let's see. I don't know why this. Every time I hop on here, it always changes the filters. But there's three red news folders today, so there's quite a bit of volatility in the market. And Jolt's job openings just happened a few minutes ago, like 10 minutes ago, and it like did nothing. It was like this one little candle right here, this one little white bullish candle. But anyways, you get the idea. So I was normally in a short on here on ES. I took this short targeting this 1 hour fair value gap right here down here. Let me go ahead and mark it out. And I feel pretty good about this. Not only do we have an SMT on the bottom here, that gave us this last little manipulation leg on both ES and NASDAQ. We swept a lot of liquidity, and we also swept this high right here, this hourly high, and we tapped into an hour for value gap. So on the hour time frame, this is looking really good. We are coming down out of this hour fair value gap, and we swept this high, and there's an hour for value gap right here. So I'm pretty much just going fair value gap to fair value gap. And on NASDAQ, I entered this as well, only because on the 5 minute, we inversed this 5 minute gap. Let me go ahead and just mark that out. Okay. And then we're actually close to inverting the 15-minute gap as well. So I think if we inverse that, I might actually move my stop loss to like right here or something, just a little bit lower. Just because this is a little bit bigger of a stop loss than I typically like to have on Nasdaq, but part of me wanted to take partials on this trade at this low, and I don't know. I kind of want to just wait for the whole thing. I'm in with this on ES on micros, and I'm in with 4 micros, so I could take two out here and let two ride to the fair value gap, but I also kind of want to just wait because I feel so strong about this. I'm just going to wait and take all of these ones out when either Nasdaq or the S&P 500 hits that fair value gap. I think that's definitely the draw on liquidity, because why else would we be going down, and why else would we be delivering down out of this hour fair value gap up here? So anyways, there's that. Excuse me. Anyways, just figured I'd get a little live trading session in with you guys. I know a lot of times when I trade live, I usually just hop on the channel here with you, like when I'm already in a trade, because it's kind of just a little, not too late, but that's just when I typically do it. Okay, so we also just inversed this 15-minute gap on NASDAQ, which I really like. So I'm gonna move my stop. Not, I don't like to put my stop right flush with the gap because sometimes price will like retest it. Oops. Sometimes price will retest the gap. Go ahead and delete this 5 minute one, and it will like retest it a lot higher than normal and then go down. So you get the idea. But I'm going to move my stop a little bit lower on NASDAQ here. See what happens. So, anyways, took a small loss for about $160 loss this morning, but this one is delivering, going pretty strong so far, and we'll just wait and see what happens. Be patient, and yeah, we're doing pretty good so far. So today is officially day 8 of 100 days to profitability. Like I've mentioned in one or two of my videos, I don't like to say it's 100 days to get to profitability. I'm trying to tell myself that it's 100 days of profitability, of being profitable. There's a difference, and I think if you can understand that, like, you just need to convince yourself that you're profitable, it kind of works. I mean, it's all mental, really. You know what to do, you just need to do it. And it's a lot harder than it looks to do it, but you can do it. So, anyways, we'll just wait a few more minutes. Hopefully, this hits TP. I'd like to be done early today so that I can go to the gym because I've got a lot of homework to do as well. Today's Friday, and I have the day off of classes on Friday, which is super nice, but it's also like just full of homework. So that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. It's a typical college student. You can't go to college and not expect to have homework. It's pretty normal. Also, something I like to do sometimes while I'm in a trade is whether I'm losing or winning that trade. I always like to look and think, okay, if I lose this or if I win this, are there any other trade setups that might be able to happen this morning? And I kind of zoom out, I reevaluate things, and I think to myself, like, okay, let's go over this, right? All these things. But anyways, yeah, we'll see. Okay, so we're delivering down. We're about to hit that gap on ES here. I'm actually going to, I don't even have a take profit set. I should probably do that. A lot of times I just take myself out manually in trades because I've got Tradeovate on my other screen here. And so yeah, I might just do that. All right, man, keep it going. You're that close. The thing about when you're winning a trade is like almost every time, I swear, almost every time a winning trade gets this close to take profit, it just waits and waits and it just basically consolidates and just oops, not that. Sorry. And it just kind of sits here for a second and then it goes down. Like I swear that happens almost every time. I think I'm just impatient right now and I want to go to the gym.
Order filled.
Okay, there we go. We just hit take profit on the S&P 500. So let's go ahead and just keep this one open right here. This one I only went in with one mini, or sorry, one micro. I'm trading a little bit lower size. Also, something that I've learned, this is a good learning lesson for you guys who are starting out day trading. Fridays, if you are not aware, is the most common day to blow your accounts with the prop firms that you're using. So I have found that that has definitely happened to me. I've blown so many evals, I've blown funded accounts, I've blown so many accounts on Fridays because as typical human beings, we want to end the note or we want to end the weekend on a good note and we want to end on a positive green number and we can't literally like accept the fact that we might lose once in a while and we might have to just like accept it, you know? Oh, let me actually fix this trade. This is my trade here on NASDAQ. My entry was a little bit higher. And this is my take profit. That's what it looks like. Something like that. My stop loss is actually, is it right here? I think it's right here. I think. Let me go ahead and just double check and make sure I have this the right way. Anyways, what I wanted to say was because Fridays are so like it messes with you mentally. It really does. And you have to trade for a long time to start to realize that and see that because it's so easy to get tunnel vision when you're trading. But I actually like to size down on Fridays, not like 50%, but maybe like 75% of what I normally trade. Mainly because I know that there's been so many Fridays when I lose two trades in a row and then I'm like down almost $1,000 on my account, and all this stuff happens, and then I start revenge trading. I don't want to end the weekend on a negative number, so I keep trading, and then I just blow the account even more, and it never works. It never works. And so if you guys are aware of that, or if you might have just heard it for the first time, like it is statistically proven by the prop firms that most accounts are blown and most people blow their accounts on Fridays. So don't become another statistic, please. It's so easy to become a statistic, and don't take the easy way out. Take the hard way out and try and trade in the best way you can, because this is one of the hardest jobs to do out there. And if you can't control it, then it's either not for you or you're not for it. So that's something that I've noticed over about 2 years of trading now. So just keep that in mind. But other than that, dude, it is so cold in my room. I swear. My room's in the basement and it's freaking cold. You know what? Let's say that. Let's say that instead of 100 days to profitability, let's just say it's 100 days for me to move out of my parents' house. Ugh, because it's freaking cold down here. I mean, I could move my bedroom upstairs, but I don't care to. I got a nice little setup down here. Got my little basketball hoop. Got my Legos right over here. Lego Millennium Falcon. Coolest thing in the world. Okay, well, we are just hanging out. One thing that I will mention that I didn't think about doing, I probably would have, and I'm actually kind of lucky that I didn't, is I probably would have moved this stop loss to break even once we hit this 1 hour fair value gap. But if you've noticed on ES, we actually didn't hit the 1 hour fair value gap still. If we go to the 1 hour, it's easier to see. We haven't touched it yet. And that was my take profit. The reason I took profit on that was because we're looking at the S&P minis. I was looking on the micros chart, and I believe I was told one time that the micros chart is like derived or somehow like taken from the minis chart. So the numbers aren't exactly correlated perfectly. And so I guess, I mean, we can just look real fast. I've got the mini right here. Maybe I just put my take profit like 1 point or 2 points too high. I don't really know, because on the mini, or excuse me, on the micro, we didn't hit the 1 hour fair value gap either. That's weird. There it is on the micro. I still think we're gonna go down though. I still think we're gonna hit it. Where is there it is. So, anyways, that's just my opinion. It's always nice when you see something like this. The You know what? Here's what I think. This is a 15-minute gap right here. It is inversed. I might miss it right here, but I have an idea. Hear me out. Hear me out. If I can show you. Okay, so this is an inversed 15 right there. Let me go ahead and change that to an IFVG, inverse fair value gap. Okay, so with this 15-minute candle that we're in right here, we have 4 minutes and 45 seconds left until we form the next candle. One of my favorite trading strategies and trading models is what's called the continuation model. And the continuation model is really simple. It's where you have a draw on liquidity, where you think the price is going to go. In this case, this 1 hour fair value gap. And price starts going there, but then it has a really big pullback, and then it continues. But a continuation model is when that pullback is in like a 15-minute fair value gap. So it taps into a 15 minutes. So what I mean by that is in 4 minutes, we might form a fair value gap that looks something like this, and it would be a 15-minute gap. If that's the case, I don't like to trade more than once when I've already won. But if that's the case, that's one of my favorite trading strategies is a 15-minute continuation model. I like to wait for price to, oops, to form a 15-minute candle, or sorry, 15-minute fair value gap, come up into it, and then continue lower. It's actually a great strategy. I've used it all the time. So we'll see. Same thing with this 5-minute candle. In 3.5 minutes, it's going to form this official 15-minute. And we might even do it on NASDAQ too. So, anyways, I thought I'd mention that because that's something that I've done before and I love 15-minute continuation models. They work so good. It's really easy to get over greedy, like too much, confidence over yourself when you do take a win. Like I just took this win and it's really easy to get a little bit confident. So just be aware of that if you're ever looking to re-enter a trade, whether you won or you lost. But anyways, if you guys have any questions or comments on like how I'm trading, some of the strategies that I'm doing, what a fair value gap is, all these things, leave it down in the comments. Like I'll get back to you guys. I know that this stuff sounds so complicated because when I first, looked up my first YouTube video on day trading, I was like, what are they saying, dude? This cannot be English. But I stand corrected. It all is English and they know what they're talking about. And this stuff is legit. So it just takes a long time to learn. It takes a long time to not only learn the terminology, but to see it on the charts. Like you got to know what a fair value gap is in your mind, and then you got to go and look at it. And then you got to get so good at it where you can just look at it without even having to mark them out or anything. So, anyways, that's just something I've noticed. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them in the comments below and I'll get back to you. I like to help other people with trading. I've got a couple friends that trade too, and my brothers are also learning how to trade. And yeah, I mean, it's going pretty good. So we'll see what happens. But I understand the grind is a struggle, and it's definitely a grind. It's hard. It's not easy, and you just got to keep staying with it. So yeah, that's just my opinion. But we'll see. Okay, so here's here's the thing. In a minute, we're about to form a 15-minute fair value gap above us, which would look so good. Oh wait, that's what I need to do. I cannot use TradingView right now. Okay, so this gap in a minute will look something like this. I'm gonna delete the inverse. Well, I'll keep the inverse there as well. It looks something like that. And on NASDAQ, it will look something like this. Sometimes I don't like to draw out the fair value gaps until that 30 seconds right here has officially ended because a lot of times it will change the shape of it by price moving, but you get the idea. I mean, I'm just trying to think ahead. Okay, so here's the 15-minute gap on the 5-minute. Here's the 15-minute gap on the 5-minute over here. I like to go to the 1-minute on both. And in 3 seconds, now that we have it, basically all we're looking for. So I'm actually still in this trade over here on NASDAQ. But what we're looking for is a tiny little liquidity sweep. This is called turtle soup. Why is it called that? I have no freaking clue. But right there is the little liquidity sweep here on ES. We just got it. And we actually put it in S&T. Because of that, I really like that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually gonna go in with just probably just 2 micros. So I just went in with 2 micros on ES And again, I'm in shorts, targeting the same thing. This is a 15-minute continuation model, and the whole 15-minute gap is this big. So I'm going to use that whole gap to to use as my stop loss. So I'm going to put my stop up there. So it's kind of a 1-to-1 RR, nothing crazy, but it's looking good so far. Let's go ahead and make sure I've got all that set up here on Tradeovate. 17.75. So I'm gonna short. So I wanna buy it back just like that. Okay. So I'm not gonna lie, this is a little bit of an early entry of when you go in right on that little liquidity sweep. My entry is actually right right there. That's my entry. This is what my trade looks like. Wait, I just messed it up. Boom. Okay, that's what my trade looks like. I might just get stopped out immediately. That's okay. I don't care. I've had this hit so many times. But anyways, we'll see what happens. The best 15-minute strategy, 15-minute continuation strategy is to wait, which I didn't do, which I probably should have, for a little gap to get inversed. So now we have a little 1-minute gap right here. If price comes below that and closes right here, I might even add more position to the size, or size to the position. I switched that. So I might even add one more micro. Not, it's not a lot of money. I mean, I'm only dealing with micros on the S&P, but you get the idea. So, anyways, that's something that often happens with 15-minute continuation models. That's actually the best setup. So in 5 seconds, we're actually about to put in another tiny little fair value gap, which we just did right here. Okay. I don't want to extend my stop loss just up to here, this high, because I bet you this is a, maybe not. I'm going to extend my stop loss just a couple points, just up to this high. I like to do that. If we inverse, I'd probably want to wait for both of these to get inversed. I'm going to add one micro to this, and it'll look like that. But currently we are in with just two, and I entered something that looks like this ish. Okay, I'm gonna add one, maybe.
Order filled.
Okay, I just added one, so nothing crazy. And I'm also gonna add one on
Order filled.
NASDAQ, only because I'm willing to move my stop loss now. I didn't even realize, I was watching this trade so much, I didn't even realize my stop loss I almost got stopped out on NASDAQ, but I never did. That's crazy. It was literally like a couple points away. So that's pretty lucky there. Okay, so put that stop. Put one here, one there. Let's see. Yeah, that's probably good. So I just have Tradeovate here on my other screen, and I'm just making sure I have all my things set. Here's something that I'm gonna recommend to all the new traders out there. I highly recommend not getting involved with so many small trades like this because it's hard to keep track of all of them at once. It's really, really easy to kind of lose track of your trades, if that makes sense. And not like forget about it, but just basically like get kind of confused. You might be, because right now I'm in this short with 2 micros on the NASDAQ, but then I'm also in this short with 3 micros on ES. So it's just kind of, yeah, that's just how I trade. A little crazy, but you get the idea. Okay, it's good. We're looking good. So yeah, both these gaps are inversed, which is really nice. My trade over here is actually no, so close. Almost had it right there. Okay, so here's the trade over here. I moved my stop loss back down to this high right here, by the way. But yeah, this right here, guys, is a textbook A plus continuation model, 15-minute continuation model. Like these things are really good trade setups. I'm not gonna lie. They hit all the time. But you know what? We easily might lose right here, and that's totally fine. Like I am happy that I'm taking this trade. I think it's 10 times better to take it than to not take it. Because think about it. Like you got to reevaluate your whole trade. We still haven't hit this hour fair value gap. And just zooming out on this, I bet you we just hit equilibrium of the range. Yeah, we just hit discount of the range. So if you don't know what premium and discount is, just draw a box of one section of the market, this leg down, and at 50%, if price goes in the lower half of the 50%, look, I mean, we're looking at shorts here. That means price is officially on discount. It's like less than 50% off. And so it's good to wait for price to come back into the discount zone and then continue a sell. So this trade hits everything. Like there's no reason to not take this trade. So anyways, that's just something I've noticed. But we'll go ahead and wait. There's so many entries on this. This right here is a breaker block. These are all ICT concepts that I'm spitting out. So if you don't know anything, like I said, drop it in the comments or just start studying yourself. There's so many YouTube videos. You can use ChatGPT. There's all kinds of ways to study this stuff. But this is a breaker block right here. So you've got a nice little unicorn formation. I know that sounds funny, but that's just the way it's called. Same thing over here, give or take. It doesn't look as pretty on ES, but right here is a little bit of a breaker if you want to consider it one. If I can find the breaker. There it is. But anyways, you get the idea. Okay, so we are at break even on both trades right now. Nothing's happening. I still got my stop loss here and here. Let's just make sure it's in a good spot here. Okay, so we're at 29. Here's what I think we could do. I think price is going to dump right now. That's just my opinion. Oh my gosh, I'm insane. Did I not just call it? Jeez, bro. Give me money and I will make you $1 million. Seriously. I will. It's not that hard. What was I gonna do? Okay, so this. Whoops. Okay, 28.5. Yeah, this is like the most textbook trade setup I've seen in a while. About to hit take profit on NASDAQ. I actually need to change it to 2. So here's take profit. So one thing I will mention here on NASDAQ, my take profit is at this low right here from market open, not the 1 hour for value gap, which would be right there. Why? Because it's close enough. I'm already $200 up on NASDAQ. It seriously doesn't matter. You're so freaking close. You know what I mean? I'm gonna move to break even on all my trades, even though we're already gonna. I mean, we're about to smash it or take profit. Very, very, very rarely do you move to break even when it's this close and price comes and stops you out at break even. That it can happen and it probably will happen. And I think that's one of those things that should happen to you so that you are familiar with how it feels because it freaking sucks. But you get the idea. All right. Hopefully I can do this in time. Magnet strategy. All right. There we go. Yo. Throw in a magnet and price will go there every time, bro.
Order filled.
Every time. Look at that. Order filled on
Order
this one.
filled.
Order filled on that one. We have made a total of $975.48 today. So I'm gonna go do homework. I'm gonna go hop off the charts. There's no reason for me to keep trading. I took, I don't even know how many trades I took. I took one small loss this morning. Again, the one small loss was this little guy right here. I literally got wicked out. I was like, bruh. It would have looked pretty juicy too. I was trying to get an early entry. I only risked 160 bucks. But we got stopped out and that's fine. It happens. Anyways, so that happened. But we're okay because we came back, we waited, we were patient, and we even re-entered a trade after we won on a 15-minute continuation model. That is the most textbook thing you'll ever see. Boom. Anyways, today was officially day 8 of 100 days to profitability. Like I said, 100 days to moving out of this freaking basement, man. Moving out of my lovely parents' house. As much as I love them, I want my own place. But I gotta make sure I can take consistent payouts first. I think, eligible for a payout now, but I don't want to take one. I want to build a buffer a little bit more. So, anyways, today was pretty good. I made just under $1,000, and we will catch you guys next week. So we've got the weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Go study some trading concepts. If you guys have questions, leave them in the comments for me. I will happily get back to you. And yeah, the magnet strategy never fails. So I'll see you guys in the next one.